Good morning. This is Mads and Wicked Dread. Now, there was a YouTube clip sent to me by a friend recently, a good friend called Castro. Nice man. Now, he talks about the racism within Jamaica, where the video he sent shows where this woman is annoyed. She's a white woman on a holiday and annoyed that they didn't allow black people into this marina place, something Flynn Marina, run by a Cuban. Now, I understand this woman's frustration and anger because she's obviously got a male friend out there, or a lover, or whatever, and they wouldn't let him in. And if he comes in with her, they can't swim. But there's another side to this story that people don't pay attention to. You have the government in Jamaica sell its soul to all these organizations from Sandals and Rick's Cafe and you name it, the Marriotts and all these other big organizations, shut the people into their hotel and the beach, private hunting, fence off the beach, and tell them, if you go outside, a man going to shoot you. Don't you go out there, they're going to rob you. Right? Now, so they've already created the instill of fear and fright. You know, that the black man out there going to rob you and chop you up and rape you, you know, and make little black babies with you and all kind of madness. Right? Secondly, the people is to blame. Let's take Ocherius. I remember Ocherius in the 70s, 60s, late 60s and 70s and 80s. Yes, I grew up in Jamaica and I spent my better part of my childhood in Jamaica. I'm a born-bred British territorial citizen from the Turks and Caicos Islands. But I went to high school in Jamaica. Right? I lived in St. Anne's Bay. I lived in Black River. I lived in Ewerton. I lived in Kingston at various addresses. I lived in Brownstown, and I can name the various places. My father was a pastor, so he traveled around the island, and we lived in various places for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. So I know the country inside out more than most people who were born there and grow there all their life. But I've seen it, and I've experienced it too. Because on one occasion when I took my now ex-wife and my children, which are now all grown and married, I'm a granddaddy, 50 odd years old I am, but I remember we went to Doctor's Cave Beach in Montego Bay, and it was hilarious. So the head manager at Doctor's Cave, and this is not something 30 odd years ago, this was in the going towards 2097, 95, 96 or something like that. And the then manager at the time was a good friend of the family. So we went, courtesy of the arrangements between my father, because the manager there was a prominent member in the Methodist Church. And I remember we were laying down on the beach with a parasol and all, and this black security guard, and I'm going to say black because he was blacker than me. But it wasn't that, it's what he said that got me angry as well. His remark was, no, 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 you can't sit there, you're not tourist, you're not foreigner. And I had to curse him. I told him about his race, his bomber clot, and I told him to go fuck him mama, right, as we say back home. And the reason I did that, I had to remind him. I said, listen, you cunt. I said, you black asshole. I says, I am here courtesy of management. That's number one. I said, number two, I am paying over the counter cash, raw American dollars or pounds, whichever one they wanted to choose. I am not here on a holiday package from America or Germany or England where all the money is paid over there and you don't see the money. I said, when I buy dinner today, you get tipped in your pounds or your US dollars. You don't get paid in Jamaican dollars. The money is not in America, it's here, straight cash in Jamaica. I look at him and say, you should be kissing my ass and asking, can I wipe your ass when you have a shit? Right? Because at least I'm bringing the money here. I'm not on an all-inclusive package. And he goes, oh, and he was all jumpy, nervous. I said, go and speak to the manager and tell them that Reverend Don Moody's son is on the beach and see what you'll find out. So he must have went to the bar and he came back and he goes, oh, I'm so sorry, sir. Is there anything else we can do for you? And I just told him to go fuck his mum and remember what I told him. No, you might say that was rude. But like that lady's video that Castro sent me, you can see why I had to get rude. But the Jamaican people out there who live there on the island and the locals who have to really work hard, they've created the problem for themselves. Because if instead of they just try to control the volume of people, look, like I said, look at Ocherius now. You can walk on the sidewalks in Ocherius. The whole high street has about 6,000 or more hustlers, higglers, market vendors, wherever, and they all block up the sidewalk and they're pulling you, here, sir, buy this, buy this, buy this. Then, and it's like you just feel like, oh my God, am I going to get robbed or mugged? You feel very intimidated. No, I know everybody wants to make a money, but you have to have a control mechanism. And what they should have done is put a proper marketplace in. Let me give you a good example. I went to visit Mauritius and Seychelles a few years ago. And this was in the, was it 2008, 2009? And I went into a area, a very prominent tourist area. And I went all over Mauritius, believe me. I went every crease and cranny. I was there for 3 weeks. I didn't just stay in a hotel and look at things. I stayed in a hotel and I stayed with friends as well. So I had the treatment from all angles. I went to places what you call the hidden gems, right? From the pineapple bridges, farms, to even a bridge called Black River, an area called Black River, which was my highlight of that holiday. I had to run out to the car and tell them, sorry, I got to take a picture. Right? Because the bridge was narrow, just like the real Black River Bridge in St. Elizabeth. I'll never forget that. But my point was, their markets, whether it be food market, craft market, everything was controlled. And it was so nice to walk through there. Right? The people didn't, majority of the people there are Hindus and they are Muslims and they are Christians, but majority are Hindus. And I tell you something, there's no hustling and dragging and screaming, but come here, son, and all of this rubbish. Jamaica was once famous for that friendly approach. We have allowed, and I say we, whether we live in America, England, Germany, wherever in the world, even in Jamaica, we have allowed out of selfish greed to try and manipulate and exploit the tourists and then wonder why these organizations shut the gate. They have all rights to shut the gate. Spain used to have a big problem like that on the beaches as well. And I know most of Spain because I lived there for a year. Plus, I traveled Spain for nearly 2 years off and on at different times, like for 1 week, 2 weeks, and things. And I've stayed in hotels, motels, guest houses, and B&Bs in Spain. And I've driven from North Spain to South Spain. My point is, they used to have this problem badly in Spain on the beaches until the local police used to walk around and ride around on buggies on the beach and get rid of the people to the extent now that even Portugal had that problem too. And they're afraid, they think they know the police could turn up anytime in plain clothes and grab them. It works. But they didn't close off the beach to anybody black or white or whatever. We in Jamaica need to stop this. The people in Jamaica, but they won't, because like my sister and those, that's Sally Spence and Earl Spence, Mr. Earl Spence from RL Limited in Crossroads, and his wife, my sister Sally Dunmoody Spence, and all her little rich friends who think that they're better than everybody else. If they stop treating the local black people like as if they are their toys to abuse and amuse themselves with, these people won't do it. Yes, there can be an exception. But generally, if you show these people some respect to say, okay, I know you're struggling hard. My ex-sister-in-law husband, okay, and I'm going to tell you, nice people. All of us decorating down in Halfway Tree. They had a helper named Cynthia. Nice lady. They treated her like part of the family. Her children are grown up, gone to university and become accountants and stuff. But she was never ill-treated like you're second class. But when you have family like mine out there and other families out there who treat the helper or the people on the street like them is nobody and whatever, then you get the problem you get. So you see, these organizations are only following what the government allowed them to do because what happened? Thompsons and Thomas Cooks in England and other travel agents all over the world, they book holidays for these people to come from America and Germany and England and France and wherever to Jamaica. But the money is paid to an agent over here, abroad. Jamaica don't see half of that money because the hotel is that money is being held on behalf of the hotel abroad. The government need to get up and stop this rubbish, and Jamaica people need to get up and light the streets of fire. And I don't mean people private house and shops. I'm talking the Jamaica House and these main politicians, and let them know that what they need to do is change the whole system, scrap the British political bias, hierarchical racial system, so that this stupidness of segregating and discriminating will stop, because only then will it go away. And then make it clear 70% of the money that is being made by these places should be kept in the island, right? And the thing should be upped and controlled so that people can walk in and walk freely all over the street at night. And when you catch these people who are trying to abuse and intimidate the tourists, carry them to the prison yards and flog them publicly, right? You know, in countries like Thailand and Saudi Arabia and them countries, they don't have these problems. They used to, many, many, many years ago. But they don't know because they don't tolerate it. Go to Australia, they don't tolerate it. Like I says, they might not, okay, Australia don't flog them. But if you go to Spain, they don't tolerate it. The police are on the thing. You walk through Barcelona, and you see these little Algerians and black guys and thing, and the police are on them like hawks. Yes, there are black traders there, lots of them. But if you're one of those illegitimate ones, dodgy ones who run around the street trying to hustle, they're on your case. What I'm saying to you, Jamaica needs to wake up. Bring Jamaica back to the country where it was back in the 60s and 70s, where our Jamaican dollar was equal to the same as £1, where also the people everywhere in the world was queuing up like mad. Let them pay for their visas. Let the corporations who want to open business there realize that 70% of their profit has to stay in the island, right? And that employees are treated like human beings and people. And those local people who want to think, should I say, harass and put the fright of into other visitors, local or from abroad, punish them hard. Okay? We need to start changing the system. But it has to start with us, the Jamaican people, whether we live abroad or in Jamaica. We have to start it. And once we start it, and then basically punish all of those local people you see who distressing the visitors. Challenge the hotels when you see them behave like what that one did in that video that Castro sent me. And only then will the system change. I ain't gonna hold hope because 3/4 Jamaican people are selfish. Right? I used to ship things out and I stop because it's all about over. I want that too much selfishness out there. And your things that streets of England or America are paved with gold. No, they're not. We have to work twice as hard and we have to pay for everything. Everything is tax, 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 tax. You all don't know what a beautiful life you have out there in Jamaica, and a beautiful beaches, a beautiful country, green. Come on, stop ruining the country, please, my fellow Jamaicans. God bless. Allah bless. Jah Rastafari bless. Big up. Mad Sam Wicked Dread. Take care.